Greetings from the farm again this week. Last week we had Leonora assist me in talking about the share, and this week we have Emma helping me. So Emma, what do we have in the share this week?
Potatoes, onion, garlic, broccoli,
One of your favorites?
delicata, spinach, peppers, beets, carrots, fennel, eggplant.
Okay, so this week, more potatoes, onions, and garlic are pretty familiar. The first of the fall broccoli, which tastes really nice. The second and probably final round of delicata squash, again, use them relatively quickly. They're not meant to store for terribly long. The first of the fall spinach, we're going to have a nice stretch, I think, of fall spinach this year. Looks and tastes great. We've got some eggplant from the field, more beets, so roast those if you can. We have green top carrots from the fall planting, so it's the first of the carrots from the fall planting. You can make a pesto with carrot tops if you Google that recipe or go or check that out. Fennel, again, we've had a good year for fennel. If you can slow cook and caramelize it a little bit, it is delicious, especially with some cheese. The peppers this week we have a bell pepper. This is a poblano, so it has some heat. This is a cayenne, which has a little bit of heat. And this pointy one this week is not the sweet kind. These are hot. So if you get any of these in the share, just know that they are hotter. They all can be dried. And to remind everybody that our 2016 brochures are out, so check those out. We really appreciate it when you pay in advance, especially this early in advance. I know it seems kind of early to be thinking about it, but it allows us to book some things like potting soil and things that we use starting in February. And we get a pretty nice discount if we book and buy that far in advance. And so it is a way to help the farm out if you can, purchasing a share now. So until next week, have a great time. So I'm standing where our spring beets came out of this field. It's about an acre. And this kind of fern-like looking plant is hairy vetch, which we plant as a cover crop, often in companion with winter rye. Both of these will survive the winter. It provides a nice growing cover of green material through the winter months, so it protects soil from wind and rain. It also does a great job of retaining nutrients right at the soil surface, so that when you plant your crop next year, it helps to make those nutrients available. Hairy vetch is a legume, so it fixes nitrogen from the air using a symbiotic relationship with bacterium that form nodules in their roots. And it can fix, if you allow it to go until late June, almost 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre, which really does a great job of reducing the need for using compost or other fertilizers. These are just two of the many different cover crops that we use. We plant sorghum, Sudan grass, buckwheat. All of them serve different purposes, but they have in common that they're there to provide a living cover through much of the season, so you don't have wind and water erosion. They do a great job of adding organic matter to the soils and retaining nutrients. And if you do haul compost in the fall, they help to suck up those nutrients so they don't leach away into our waterways, which is a very important issue in the state of Iowa currently. So we did tear our outdoor tomatoes out last week in order to plant another cover crop. Right over there you can see the cages kind of off in the distance. That will be planted to cover crop shortly as well in order to help build soil fertility for next year's crop.